Hello, this is Mike with Fire Department Extractor Spotting, the leader of fire department extractors and dryers on the West Coast. This video is designed for you to select which the proper extractor is for your facility, depending on the size, the utilities, for instance, power and drain, and how many personnel you have at your facility. The first factor in choosing an extractor at your facility is knowing the size extractor that you need for the personnel at your station or training facility. For instance, in the background here, I have two extractors. These two here, this is a 20-pound extractor, smallest of all the extractors we have available. And then this is the 70-pound extractor. That's the largest we have available. So when selecting an extractor, the poundage, every extractor is weighted off a poundage. Example, 20 or 70 pounds. The easiest way to reference that is how many people or how many pieces of gear can go in the extractor. And what I mean by that, a 20-pound extractor, each set of gear, whether that's outer shells or liners, is estimated at 10 pounds. So a 20-pound machine can do 2 full sets of outer shells or 2 full sets of liners, 4 pieces. A 70-pound machine can do a total of 14 pieces or 7 full sets of outer shells or liners. Another thing to consider when selecting an extractor is whether you want a soft mount or hard mount extractor. And what I mean by that is, example back here, this machine is a 70-pound soft mount. It does not need to be bolted to the ground. Even though these does have a foot on the bottom of it, what we consider a pedestal that we make anywhere from 4 to 10 inches tall. And the reason is that we had to put this on a pedestal was for the drain and the rear, and I'll show you that here a little bit later. But the machine over here to your right is a hard mount extractor that needs bolted down to the ground. So this is used with 6 different bolts that we lag into the concrete, needing at minimum 6-inch thickness for your extractor to bolt on. Some of the negatives of the hard mount is it adds additional labor cost, and obviously you can't move it once it's bolted down. Soft mount, cheaper labor cost to do the installation, and as well as, you know, we talk about a can move. They're 1,400 pounds. They are a little bit difficult to move, but there is that possibility in the future. All right, another consideration is utilities, and the first thing I want to discuss is the electrical hookup. Our larger machines, these 70-pound machines, require 208 or 240 volt single or triple phase or 3-phase electrical, which those would be hardwired into the utilities. Our smaller machines, as this 20-pound SHD, this is our Genius machine, the standard SHD, and also our Express Pro, those are all 110 volt power, so no need for additional wiring at your facility. All right, another consideration when choosing your extractor is the drain. There's multiple different types of drains, drain sizes, and whether it's a gravity drain or a pump drain, and I'll explain those. Our larger machines, so anything bigger than the 20 SHD or the 35 Express Pro, has what's called a gravity drain. It's a 3-inch drain that does not have a pump, so wherever you mount your extractor or place your extractor, there's going to need to be a floor drain at minimum 3-inch diameter. The reason for our bases that I talked about earlier is it can now raise those extractors to allow the drain to go down. We make those bases anywhere from 4-inch to 10-inch and 2-inch increments to do that. Moving over to the smaller 20-pound SHDs and the 35 Express machine, those have a standard 3/4 inch or 1-inch drain off the rear of the machine. They can go pump up to about the 3-4 foot level, just like a standard residential washing machine. All right, this is the back of our SHD 20 machine. As you can see, this is just a 110 plug, standard residential, and just like a normal residential washing machine, this will go into your utilities adapter and now allow for the water to be pumped out. Does not need a gravity feed. Now going over our gravity feed drains, and those are all going to be from the SHD 40 and up, are all going to have what's called a gravity drain. As you can see on the back of this machine, there's a rubber boot coming off. It's a 3-inch drain, and in turn, this all goes into a trough in the rear into our drain. Like I said, this does not pump water, so it's just strictly gravity. We do have the ability for our SHD 40s, our SHD 70, for facilities that do not have a gravity drain. See this sump tank here? We make a smaller version of that fits behind the extractor. And all that is a 30-inch wide by 12-inch deep by 18-inch tall tank. In turn, the 3-inch gravity dumps into our sump tank, and then there's a sump pump with a lint trap in there, and it pumps it out and makes it just like our other residential, where it can go down to a 1-inch. It's a 32-gallon tank that now allows you to pump that out and not have to have a floor drain in the ground.